Good morning and happy Tuesday to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation coming to you live. We are live today. We will be pre-recorded tomorrow, and we will be pre-recorded on Thursday. Out of town. You'll see why tomorrow night. But we are live today from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFATV. Welcome to Ungoverned. Let us know where you're watching from. We're going to have a good time today. I got a funny clip if you were watching just, I think Truth Social is down today, right now. It is what it is. Happens to everybody at some point with the issues. But let us know where you're watching from. We're going to have some fun today. If you saw what we talked about on PHT this morning, specifically AOC, there's a new accent. That was, and I don't know what accent it is, to be honest with you. But let us know where you're watching from. We are live today just to show you a dead check. There you go. There it is, or a live check. There you go. You have the live chat playing right there on your screen. Missouri, Mississippi, Arizona in the house. Ohio in the house. Truth is down because Trump is getting his colonoscopy. And that right there, early front runner for comment of the day. Georgia and over on X. Texas over on X. Here we go. Got a bunch of people watching all over the place, so we appreciate you all being here. Oh, we have a who?
Australia, 5, Sophia. Good morning, Sean. We'll try to stay up from down under.
Hold on. What? Where is who said that?
Sophia.
I'm scrolling up on the chat. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. 5 Sophia. Good morning, Sean. We'll try and stay up from down under. So 5 Sophia, are you from Australia? Like, or are you maybe on vacation there and are originally from the U.S.? That's an interesting question. Because if we got somebody from Oz, that would just be, that is just, they call it down. Unbelievable. That is awesome. I've been told that I have a following in Australia. I used to have a bunch of Australians who found me on TikTok. And then Sky News, when I did the Bear Shelves Biden, remember? They were like, if Trump doesn't run for president, they should get that guy. Good on you, mate. Spites. Pride of the South for over 125 years. There it is. Chasm, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Appreciate everybody who is in here. If 5 Sophia, if you are actually an Aussie. Yes, I live in Darwin. Wow. All right. Well, Ungoverned is hitting Australia. We got to talk about Vegemite. No, it's good on bacon, but everything's good on bacon. I'm into Australia. You know what's really good in Australia if you guys haven't had them? Anzac cookies.
Tim Tams.
Anzac cookies.
And Tim Tams.
Tim Tams are good, but Anzac cookies are delicious.
I've never had that.
They are. They're like sugar cookies, but better. They're so good. Yeah, if you've ever, the Anzac Day is like Veterans Day in Australia. So anyway, but welcome to our Aussies and everybody else, by the way. We don't want the Aussie to feel like they're the most important person in the room. No, I'm just kidding. If we ever had a problem, you know that? If we ever had a problem, we could have run for president or run for office in Australia. It would still be make Australia great again, right? I got along very well with the kangaroos. I got along very well with the dingoes, right? We keep the dingoes from eating your babies. And we're going to turn the Great Barrier Reef into the greatest barrier reef, believe it or not. All right, we're very happy to see everybody here. We've got someone from Australia, which is exciting. Don't hold it against me, by the way, if you are an Aussie. But I am preferable to the New Zealand All Blacks. I'm sorry, the rugby team. But preferable to New Zealand All Blacks. All right, let's get to rocking and rolling, shall we? We got a lot to do today. Justice for Rachel Morin. Obviously, the verdict in that court case can't bring Rachel Morin back, but it ties into a much larger conversation about illegal immigration, the border, this hyperventilating over this Anzac Day is April 25th, according to 5 Sophia. This hyperventilating over the MS-13 gang member, Abrego Garcia. You know, the left loves to say, where are the court filings that say this person was in? I found them. It took me 2 seconds, you lazy SOBs on the left. We're not lazy SOBs on the right. Those of us who, go after the truth, right? And can find it rather easily. 2019, so we have that. We'll get to that as well. A New Mexico man charged in connection with the Tesla terrorism in New Mexico. And if you remember, we talked about a story a couple of weeks ago, as the allergies just continue to destroy me today, about the Albuquerque, New Mexico headquarters for the state GOP in New Mexico. This guy was charged in connection with that attack as well. Call your senators. For those of you who remember why I was telling you to call your senators a couple of weeks ago, we will have a rehash on that. Tariffs and tax cuts potentially, as today is tax day. I also would like to point something out. This may make people unhappy, but you know what? In pursuit of the truth, we have to do it. Today is the 113th anniversary. The 113th anniversary, I believe 2015 minus 1912 is 113. I think so. Of the sinking of the Titanic. I am a Titanic geek. I'm fascinated by the wreck. I'm fascinated by the incident. I'm fascinated by some of the theories surrounding Titanic. And there are a lot of people who think it was the Olympic because there was a twin ship. I just want to show you, we're probably still people aren't going to be sold off of it, but I don't say things without evidence. You know me. So we're going to put this up real quick just to do a quick little Titanic thing. It was not the Olympic, and I'll show you why we know. Yes, the Titanic was one of 3 ships, Titanic, Olympic, and Britannic. Titanic and Britannic both sank. Britannic sank as a casualty in World War I. Titanic sank on her maiden voyage from Europe to New York. This is the major distinction between Titanic and Olympic. Down here, you can see Olympic. This deck right here that you see is the Promenade A deck. And you can see how there are not screened-in windows up there, or just posts, okay? If we go up, this is Titanic, and the Promenade A deck is very different. It's a screened-in, almost indoor area. It's not as an open air as Olympic. You see the differences there? They look very similar. You can even see Promenade B down below. Also looks different. Well, the wreck down at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, this is Promenade A, because there's a davit, the boat deck on top. Promenade A matches the Promenade A deck of Titanic, not of Olympic. So as fun as that insurance policy theory is, it is not true that the Olympic sank. And that could be pretty much, verified. So it was not the sister ship. The ships were built slightly different, and the differences in those ships are evident, and the differences in those ships can be pointed out on the wreck site down at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. There is, as Sauce brought up, a fascinating documentary on the wreck of the Titanic on Nat Geo called The Digital Resurrection of Titanic. And they basically did a digital scan of the wreck because it's rapidly decomposing. Obviously, our friend in the chat's blaming the Jews already. He thinks iceberg is somebody's last name. Stupid people, I'll tell you what. Stupid people. I'm biting my tongue, but I'm going to bite it. I'm going to bite it because we're not going to make it mean today. Although I could say some mean things. But yes, there is a fascinating documentary on Nat Geo, The Digital Resurrection. They've done a digital scan of the entire debris field. It's fascinating. I've always been interested in the Titanic. So anyway, it's the 113th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. We will get to No more Titanic stuff, but border stuff, tariff stuff. Joe Biden is coming back. He's supposed to make a public address today. Good, I missed him. Where you been, man? I was laying on a beach in Delaware. Just like when you were president. All right. Before we get to all that good stuff, folks, let's get to a word from our friends over at OFP Farms. You know, Mother's Day is right around the corner. May 11th. It's right around the corner, and OFP Farms has done it again. They have crafted fabulous luxury gift boxes for moms that will not break the bank. You know, their gift boxes are amazing, right? Their gift boxes are amazing. We love their gift sets. The inauguration set was great. Gary, right? Great McGroin from Michigan. He actually did an unboxing, and I downloaded the video, and we played it live on the show. He was blown away by everything that was in that box. It was amazing. The beautiful gift boxes for Mother's Day are flying off the shelves over at OFPFarms.com thanks to jaw-dropping discounts. So you better get in while the getting's good. Because you can think, I'll wait a week. And then the next thing you know, boxes are gone. Although I'm sure they will continue to make them up until Mother's Day. But guess what? Right now you can get an extra 20% off of the Mother's Day gift sets in your entire order at OFPFarms.com. You got stuff like the Revolution soap, the We the People soap, the Outlaw soap, Goat Kisses lip balms. Goat Kisses lip balms. Look at this. Right there. This is the Goat Kisses lip balm. This is the best stuff. Ditch your crap stick and get Goat Kisses lip balm. OFPFarms.com. 20% off your entire order and the Mother's Day gift sets if you use the promo code Sean, SHAWN, 20% off. OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN for 20% off. At OFPFarms.com until May 11th, until Mother's Day. So you get 20% off, big Mother's Day sale. Go to OFPFarms.com, use the promo code SHAWN for 20% off. Next up, a word from our good friends over at Switch2USA.com. It's our friend Maria. She's got a great message for you to switch away from those woke brands and switch to Made in America. Check it out.
We all want to make a difference in our country and make change, but we don't all have the ability to do so. A lot of people are busy. They can't join school boards. They can't get on borough council, but they can change where they shop. And it's just shopping. It's that simple.
We're going to link arms and we're going to shop right here at this American factory. They make the products and they're all natural and they're good for us and they're affordable. Everything's made here in the USA.
Yes, that is switch number 2, USA.com. Switch the numero dos. USA.com. Switch to USA. Folks, we've been talking about how the world's gone crazy. Supply chain issues, tariffs, trade wars. Gas prices were very high for a while, though. Crude oil is starting to come down. We know the big box stores during COVID, they were allowed to stay open the whole time. But all the little guys, the small business owners, the people like you and me were forced to close. The wealthiest became better off. Wall Street profited. Main Street ruptured and bankrupted. It was terrible. But what we could do to prevent that and to support our small business owner friends is we could vote with our dollars. This is the call to action. Answer this call to action. Switch away from the big box conglomerates and shop factory direct at a family-owned, made-in-America manufacturer for all of your monthly consumables, toothpaste, shaving cream, laundry detergent, shampoo, healthy snacks, grass-fed beef, all of it delivered right to your door. Switch away from Made in China. Switch to Made in the USA and join the parallel economy that has been formed. Join the massive sweep that's happening through Patriot Nation. Decide today that you want to be a part of the movement to cut off their cash flow. Sign up. My friend Maria will give you a call back to enroll you, and then you can start shopping at this privately owned mom and pop. That's switch number 2 USA.com. Switch to number 2 USA.com. Switch the number 2 USA.com. Sip of tea on the way. There it is. All right, folks who are watching right now, I haven't been asking lately. I figured it would have been second nature. But Mo wants to come out. It's our last live show until Friday. You'll see why tomorrow night. I'm not saying anything until it happens. Of course, not because I don't think anything's going to happen, but you'll see why tomorrow night. It's pretty exciting. But if you can hit the thumbs up button if you're watching right now, there's almost 1,300 people. But we're sitting at 460. We're not a bad start. Not a bad start at the 462 mark. However, there's still 800 people who have decided, we don't really care about, hitting the like button. It's all right. Now, of course, there are people who want to hit the like button but don't have a Rumble account. You got to make one, and then you can follow the channel.
What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? No matter where you're watching from, hit the like.
Mom can do it, you can do it.
That's true. If Gina can do it, you could do it.
And she has.
And she has done it. No matter where you're watching from, hit the like button, hit the repost button, support the show. We greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate all of your support. All right, let's make this happen. Let's get going and talk about Rachel Morin, ladies and gentlemen. Rachel Morin, her killer, has been convicted of murder. Finally, the illegal immigrant was found guilty of murdering the Maryland mother of 5, Rachel Morin. A sad story, one of the biggest stories going into the 2024 election. A jury on Monday found Victor Antonio Martinez Hernandez, who entered the country illegally in 2023, guilty of murdering 37-year-old Rachel Morin on a Maryland trail where she was out jogging. According to Fox 45, the jury found Martinez Hernandez of first-degree rape, first-degree murder, first-degree sexual assault, and kidnapping. Morin, a mother of 5, was reported missing on August 6th, 2023, after she went out for a run on the MA&PA, or Mon Pa, I'm not sure if it's pronounced that way, trail in Bel Air, Maryland, and did not return. Martinez Hernandez was arrested on June 14th in 2024 and now faces life in prison for the conviction. Donald Trump wrote following the conviction, the illegal criminal who was allowed into our country by crooked Joe Biden was convicted of the heinous murder of Rachel Morin. Rachel was a beautiful mother of 5, right? She's beautiful, beautiful person. Beautiful mother of 5 from Maryland. Her life was taken at the hands of a monster who should have never been here in the first place. The fake news should be focusing on the beautiful life and tragic death of this Maryland mother rather than the so-called Maryland father, who is actually an MS-13 gang member and foreign terrorist from El Salvador. We will never forget Rachel Morin and are committed to protecting women like her across our country. We will deport illegal murderers, rapists, and criminals. Make America great again. And I give it to Donald Trump in this one for linking the two. Obviously, Morin is from Maryland, and this Abrego Garcia is also from Maryland. And you have people hyperventilating over, oh my gosh, is Donald Trump? Is he deporting U.S. citizens? Well, let's get to this, because that's the talking point now, is that Donald Trump is deporting people who aren't actually gang members. All right. Let's get to this, because we've got the court filings. I did the digging, and I've got it ready to go for all of you, because we bring the receipts on the show, right? We bring the receipts. We make sure that if we're going to make a claim on this show, we have a way to back it up. All right, so here we go. This is the court filing from 2019 that this quote-unquote Maryland father, that concerned him. Take a look, okay? You see it right there on your screen. We'll zoom in for you so we can read this together. But you'll see in the matter of Abrego Garcia, Kilmer Armado Abrego Garcia, the respondent is a native and citizen of El Salvador on March 29th, 2019. Now, this is not the same person who killed Rachel Morin. I just want to be clear. This is the one that they're hyperventilating over now, okay? The Department of Homeland Security served the respondent with a notice to appear, which sets forth the following factual allegations. The respondent is not a citizen or national of the United States. He is a native and citizen of El Salvador. He arrived in the United States at an unknown place on an unknown date, and he was not then admitted or paroled after an inspection by an immigration officer. Accordingly, the respondent was charged with removability pursuant to, and you see the law cited there, as an alien resident in the United States without being admitted or paroled, or who arrived in the United States at any time or place other than as designated by the Attorney General. The respondent was held in custody by the Department of Homeland Security. Sounds an awful lot like the respondent was here illegally. The respondent being Mr. Kilmer Armando Abrego Garcia. Okay. On to another portion of this, because people want to say, there's no court filings that say that he's an MS-13 gang member. Here's a court filing that says that he's an MS-13 gang member, and it's on your screen right now. Let's read this one together, shall we? After considering the information provided by both parties, the court conducted that no bond was appropriate in this matter. The court first reasoned that the respondent failed to meet his burden of demonstrating that his release from custody would not pose a danger to others, as the evidence shows that he is a verified member of MS-13. Time out. The evidence shows that he is a verified member of MS-13. Happy to see our friend OSS Ninja now cares about women being beaten up by people. Maybe he's coming around. It's bad when MS-13 does it. It's good when Andrew Tate does it. Do you see the hypocrisy? I see the hypocrisy. It also says here the BIA has held that absent any indication that the information therein is incorrect or was the result of coercion or duress, Form I-213 is inherently trustworthy and admissible. The respondent contends that the form in his case erroneously states that he was detained in connection to a murder investigation. He also claims that I-213 internally contradicts itself as to whether the respondent fears returning to El Salvador. The reason for the respondent's arrest given on his form does appear at odds with the Gangfield interview sheet, which states that the respondent was approached because he and others were loitering outside of a Home Depot, etc., etc. But you see the court here admitting that the evidence shows that he is a verified member of MS-13. One more court filing here, one more page from that court filing that continues to prove what J.D. Vance, what Donald Trump, what President Bukele of El Salvador has been saying as well. We'll zoom in a lot on this one because it's quite long. Okay? Here we go. Whoops. Let's go there. Okay. We'll scroll up. After considering the information provided by both parties, the court concluded, we had this up here, that no bond was appropriate. Right? We scroll down. The determination that the respondent is a gang member appears to be trustworthy and is supported by other evidence in the record, namely information contained in the Gangfield interview sheet. Although the court is reluctant to give evidentiary weight to respondent's clothing as an indication of gang affiliation, the fact that a, quote, past, proven, and reliable source of information verified the respondent's gang membership, rank, and gang name is sufficient to support that the respondent is a gang member, and the respondent has failed to present evidence to rebut that assertion. Those forms of relief are limited and contain standards that are difficult to meet. In addition, the record evidence shows that the respondent has a history of failing to appear for proceedings pertaining to his traffic violations. He asserted that he did not receive notice of these proceedings, but in his written statement, he admitted that he remembers receiving citations, so he lied. Chose not to follow up on those. The respondent's lack of diligence in following up in his traffic court cases indicates that he cannot be trusted to appear in immigration court. In light of these findings, the court concluded that no bond was appropriate in this matter. That order was issued on April 24th, 2019. The respondent reserved the right to appeal. Okay. So we have several examples here in that court filing that the quote-unquote Maryland father that the left wants to hyperventilate over and fixate on, instead of fixating on the fact that a Maryland mother was killed because of their open border policies. The evidence is overwhelming that Kilmer Armando Abrego Garcia was an MS-13 gang member. Has anybody here ever experienced MS-13? I've never experienced MS-13. Like, I've never run up on one of these people. But on Long Island, where I grew up, there was a town called Brentwood. And they called it Brent Hood, actually, because of what it eventually devolved into. MS-13 basically took over that town. And it wasn't just Brentwood that they took over, but that was one of the hotbeds on Long Island. That was why when Kevin and I and the Loud Majority Army in the fall of 2021 pushed so hard for the election of Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney, because he had experience during the first Trump administration helping Donald Trump clean up MS-13 out of Long Island, namely in Brentwood in Suffolk County. Ray Tierney was elected. He's done a great job out there in Suffolk County. MS-13 is not a joke. Now, with that being said, Tren de Aragua makes MS-13 look, like Boy Scouts. But the fact of the matter is, anybody affiliated with that gang is probably not somebody you want living in your neighborhood. Now, I think I saw Wanda point this out in the live chat over on Rumble. Whether or not he was a gang member isn't even relevant, is it? According to that court filing, he came into the country at an unknown time, on an unknown date, and is not a citizen of the United States. That alone, got to go. Afuera, right? Out. Out. Get out. The left wants to hyperventilate and say that there's no evidence. The courts never said that he was a gang member. Oh, that is just factually untrue. We just read through it. Okay? That's what we call categorically false. As Bully Gun Patriot over on X says, I was told the court filing wasn't proof. And our friend, by the way, Francella, that would be at May's wife 78, from Warren County, Ohio, is in the chat because we had a great time in Warren County a week ago, or just about a week ago. That was one of the best events I'd ever been to. It was so much fun, packed. A room of 500 people. Just an amazing time. So hello to Francella out there in the chat. It was a great time. Warren County. I can't wait for campaign season to kick off up there. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so much fun. So much fun. The MS-13 gang member, Kilmer Armando Abrego Garcia, there is proof, there are court filings, there are statements, and so it's not a ruling, but essentially it's a statement by the court, by the judge, that the evidence presented that linked him or proved that he was an MS-13 gang member was trustworthy, and Abrego Garcia never submitted evidence in that hearing to rebut those claims. So to the people who are arguing for this guy to come back, right? To the people who are arguing for this guy to come back, you opening up your home? Brian and Ed Krasenstein, are you guys opening up your home for this guy? You want him to come live with you? No, of course you don't want him to come live with you. Why? You racist? You don't like brown people? Is that the thing here? To Senator Van Hollen, who's going down to El Salvador to try and negotiate this guy's right, you going to open up your home? Or are you just going to dump him in the neighborhood and forget about it? You're just going to pretend like those court filings don't exist. Think about what Donald Trump has done here, where he has put the left. Think about this. They are now taking the side of an MS-13 gang member. MS-13 gang member. They're taking the side of somebody who belonged to a gang, that a court says belonged to a gang, that used to, after they killed people on Long Island, they would give them what they call a Colombian necktie. You know what that is? And they would cut a hole in the victim. I don't care if this is graphic. It's disgusting, but you have to hear it. Sometimes you have to hear it. They would cut a hole in your neck and pull your tongue through your throat to hang out of your neck after they killed you. That's the type of people they want to bring back into our country. That's the position that they've taken because they simply can't admit that Donald Trump is right. I don't want those people in my neighborhood. And I got news for you. Van Hollen, the Krasensteins, AOC, they don't want them in the neighborhood either. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. All right. Let's take a quick break. We'll get to the other side of this, the other side of everything here. We have a bunch more to get to, plus a new accent from AOC. I'm not sure if you have heard it. However, before we get to all that, I want to get to a word from our new sponsors. We got a new sponsor. Right? It is AmericanFinancing.net. AmericanFinancing.net. With everything that's happening in the economy, it feels like we're all walking on shaky ground. Prices are stuck at a really high level. It seems like nothing is affordable anymore. It's no wonder why many are relying on credit cards to cover all the gaps. Credit card debt is skyrocketing, and it's leaving a lot of people stressed out. If you are a homeowner, you do not have to face this uncertainty alone. My friends over at American Financing can help you take control. They can help you access the equity in your home to help you pay down that high-interest credit card debt, giving you peace of mind and real savings. On average, people just like you are saving $800 a month. $800 a month. That's $9,600 a year. What are you waiting for? Reach out to American Financing today. Plus, they might close your loan in as little as 10 days. Do not let the chaos of the economy get the best of you. Call American Financing now. It costs you nothing to get started, 10 minutes of your time, and you may delay 2 mortgage payments, giving you a cushion in this uncertain time. Give them a call at 866-885-8027, 866-885-8027, 866-885-8027, or AmericanFinancing.net/Farish. It's my last name. AmericanFinancing.net/FARASH, NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Next up, the LFA TV store. Something for everybody at the LFA TV store. You guys know it, right? You know all about the LFA TV store. Whoa, my screen just went wild. LFATV.us, LFATV.us. Ladies and gentlemen, the LFA TV store is an absolutely great website, and there's something for everybody. Come on now. There's something for everybody over here. If you click on the store tab, don't just stop there. Make sure that you see the entire store by clicking on this tab on the right-hand side. Visit the store. And you will see everything there is to offer over at the LFA TV store. The mug, that mug looks so cool. Barb Naylor made the mugs. It's got all the iconic Trump photographs on it. The McDonald's picture, the fight picture, the mug shot. We call it the Mona Lisa mug shots. The garbage truck. Gotta love that. The garbage stuff was fun. Everyone wearing those vests back in election season. That was a good time. It was a fun campaign. Rise Up coffee, winter hats, beach towels, tank tops. There is something for everybody. It's you, your mom, your brother, your sister, your son, your daughter, your niece, your nephew, your friend, your coworker, everybody. There's something for everybody at the LFA TV store. It's LFATV.us, 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 or JeremyHerald.com/store. Meemaw's getting uptight. As she should. And we're right before the Easter holiday. Everyone's kind of checked out, which, you know, it's fine, I guess. It is what it is. Ebbs and flows. Happens to everybody. You know. And it's just a shame because our movement could be so much more powerful if people just gave a you-know-what. And too many people don't. 71% of Republicans in a new poll identify as MAGA. Right? In other words, they don't just support Trump, but they support what he stands for, the MAGA agenda. 71% of Republicans. Okay? Every primary should look like that then. Get a MAGA candidate and have that 71% show up. The problem is the MAGA doesn't show up if Donald Trump isn't on the ballot. And that's the biggest issue. That's the biggest issue. But we'll get there. We'll solve those problems. Everyone needs a little break. Look, this whole politics, it'll burn you out. So I don't blame you. Holidays coming up, Easter, it's a big holiday. So we hope everybody has a good Easter. But after that, we got to get to work, guys and gals. We got to grow our ranks. Stagnant's no good. We got to get big. We got to get strong. All right. New Mexico. This is a big story here. Obviously, we've wanted to see some accountability. The pace of justice obviously is slower than many of us wished, but this is a good thing. It is progress. It is a win. It is something that we should be happy about, and therefore we will be happy about it. New Mexico, a New Mexico man. Oh my goodness, you got to see this guy. You have got to see what this guy looks like. Look at him. Come on, there it is. Look at that purple lipstick and everything. Exactly what you would think he looks like, right? A New Mexico man has been charged in connection to the arson attacks on a Tesla showroom and the state GOP headquarters in Albuquerque. An Albuquerque, New Mexico man charged with committing arson attacks against the Tesla showroom and the Republican Party of New Mexico's headquarters. According to the DOJ, 40-year-old Jamison Wagner of Albuquerque was charged with 2 counts of malicious damage or destruction of property by fire or explosives. He faces between 5 and 20 years in prison for each count. That's why Pam Bondi came out and said that she's seeking 40 years in prison. According to a bio on the website 500 Queer Scientists, never heard of that website before. Apparently, which is a visibility campaign for LGBTQ plus people and their allies working in STEM and STEM supporting jobs. Wagner is described as a queer electrical engineer that uses he/him pronouns. And pronouns are always a pretty good indicator of severe mental illness. At 3:13 a.m. local time on February 9th, authorities responded to the Albuquerque Tesla showroom on Jemez Canyon Dam Road for a fire and vandalism. 2 Tesla Model Y vehicles were damaged outside the showroom, with one being significantly damaged. The ATF fire investigator classified the fire as incendiary, meaning an intentional human act resulted in a fire occurring in a location when and where the fire should not have occurred. On March 30th, authorities responded to the Republican Party of New Mexico's Albuquerque office around 5:55 a.m. for reports of a fire. The fire was extinguished shortly after authorities arrived, with the flames damaging the front door and entry area. South wall of the structure had the phrase ICE equals KKK painted on it. The fire was also classified as incendiary. Look at this guy, man. I'll tell you. You could just see the crazy written on this dude. Look at him. That is a crazy person. That is an ugly person. That's a nasty person, right? I think he's a nasty person. The investigation into the 2 crime scenes shows similarities, including the fact that the suspect used gasoline as an accelerant. So on Thursday, we have a TDS special. Obviously, this guy's not going to be in it because I didn't have this information when I recorded Thursday's episode. But on Thursday, remember Donny O'Sullivan? He's a roly-poly leprechaun guy on CNN, right? And he said that he doesn't see any extremism on the left. I'll play this for you now. Just, I know it's going to kind of take a little bit away from Thursday's show, but the guy that I just talked to you about, this Jamison Wagner, definitely not a right-winger, writing ICE equals KKK. But Donny O'Sullivan is pretending like people like this don't exist.
What we're looking at here is obviously, when it comes to extremism in this country, I mean, the issue very much so is on the right, on the far right, from, from Charlottesville to January 6th, there isn't exactly an equivalent on the left in this moment. And as you can see there, as part of our doc, we actually were outside the DC jail on inauguration night, when, of course, Trump began pardoning a lot of people who took part in the January 6th riot, and people...
So Tony O'Sullivan over on CNN seems to think that there's no extremism on the left. It's all on the right. It's all on the right. Am I missing something here? The guy who attacked Josh Shapiro, the guy who shot at Donald Trump, the guy who wanted to shoot at Donald Trump, the Tesla terrorists, the people calling in the swattings, Steve Scalise getting shot, Antifa, BLM, riots, destruction of property, doxing, stalking, harassing, death threats, Luigi Mangione. I mean, are we going to... Tony O'Sullivan doesn't see any of that? He sees none of it? It's only on the right. The far right. Are you... What drugs is that guy on to make him that delusional? And where do I get some? I mean... that is a level of disconnected that few. He just did an interview with Taylor Lorenz, who was glorifying Luigi Mangione, the United Healthcare CEO killer. And he wants to tell me that extremism does not exist on the left? Is this guy crazy? I don't know, maybe he can't see past his belly to see all these, stupid roly-poly leprechaun. I don't see any extremism on the left. It's all on the far right. Give me a break. Go back to Ireland. Go find your Lucky Charms. I can't take them. No offense to Irish people. I like Irish people. I just don't like that Irish person. All right.
I got some Irish.
A couple weeks ago, I said to call your senators. Does anybody remember why? A couple of weeks ago, I said, please call your senators. We got to get this through before things start getting hairy. Please call your senators. We got to make this happen. This is very important. The left is going to pull out all the stops. Does anybody remember why I said that? Does anybody remember what it was? And the reason why there it is. Speaks got it. Ed Martin. That is correct. Yes. A Brief Mo says Ed Martin. Speak is saying Ed Martin. Matt Brown, Eagle Ed. Speak is saying Ed Martin for a third time. I love the folks right there. We're paying attention. We're seeing it. Ed Martin. That is correct. Winky. Ed Martin. Everybody's got it. Okay? Ed Martin. Confirmation. Freedom from McGroin. Look at that. We got a bunch of all-star pupils in the chat today. We love that. Okay. When I say things, I don't say them for the sake of saying them. You know that. I say them because it's true. There are now January 6th prosecutors that are trying to get revenge on Ed Martin because Ed Martin worked, he was a board member of Patriot Freedom Project. He defended several January 6th defendants. And as the Gateway Pundit notes here, it is all hands on deck to stop Donald Trump's nominee for D.C. U.S. Attorney, Ed Martin, who is the author of the co-author with the late, great Phyllis Schlafly of the conservative case for Trump back in the 2016 election cycle. Ed Martin is currently the interim or acting U.S. Attorney for D.C., and Trump recently announced that he nominated him for the permanent position as one of the country's top attorneys. In February, Ed Martin launched an investigation into threats against Doge workers and revealed that Chuck Schumer was one of the targets. He also launched an inquiry into former U.S. Attorney Matthew Graves' prosecutions of more than 1,500 January 6th protesters, specifically probing the abuse of the 1512 C2 obstruction of an official proceeding charge. Remember that charge? Where instead of charging these quote-unquote insurrectionists, right, with insurrection under 18 U.S. Code 2383, the Rebellion and Insurrection Act. Why? Why did they go with 1512? 1512 has a longer maximum sentence, 20 years. So I said, you got to get on the phone. You got to call your senators. And I see a lot of people said they did. Very good. Thank you. And we got to keep doing it. It is very important to have a guy like Ed Martin in this position here. In addition to probing Graves' abuse of 1512, it was reported that Ed Martin humiliated numerous Biden Department of Justice prosecutors by transferring them to pursue misdemeanor offenses in the D.C. Superior Court. Those demoted included John Crabb and Elizabeth Aloy, who prosecuted contempt of Congress cases that sent Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro to jail for 4 months apiece. They include Jason McCullough, who helped lead the team that sent top Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio, Joe Biggs, and Ethan Nordain to prison for their role in orchestrating the breach of the Capitol. Alleged role, anyway. They include Catherine Rakoski, who was a lead prosecutor in the J6 cases of Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes and more than a dozen of his allies for their involvement in the attack on the Capitol, according to Politico. Ed Martin must be confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. And if this doesn't prove to you, and I'm not saying to take the position opposite of our opponent simply because they're our opponent. I'm saying we know, I personally know Ed Martin. He's a great guy, but we've all experienced in some way, shape, or form something that we like from Ed Martin. We want this guy confirmed. The left, Adam Schiff. You want to see Adam Schiff cry? I'd love to see Adam Schiff cry. Let's get Ed Martin confirmed, and we'll see Adam Schiff cry. Make Schiff cry again. Make Schiff cry again. I'd love to see it. Love to see it. All right. Wanda's losing her patience in the chat.
OSS Ninja wants to take the voting rights away from women who make bacon.
Say that again. OSS Ninja wants to take voting rights away from women who make bacon? Well, that's one of the stupidest things.
I smell a female cooking bacon, and suddenly I get the urge to remove her ability to vote. Anyone stupid enough to eat pork should have no say over my future.
Oh, good. He must love my posts on X then. I eat pork every day. That's just... I guess we have Muslim. I guess that's what that is. Anyone stupid enough to eat pork? Pork is great. It's delicious, tasty. You know what? I had some pork last night. It was so good. I take the pork, and I'm not going to tell you what I marinated in because it's a secret. If I tell you, you know. Okay. But
Pork is not halal. Oh, so now he's a Muslim.
he's Muslim now. Yeah, he was I take the pork, I marinate it in beautiful stuff. I put it on the Blackstone, high heat, and it caramelizes onto the fat. And it's just so good. Like, you don't understand how good pork is. It is so... You've tasted my pork, right? Yeah. I mean, it's just... And bacon? Bacon's one of the best things going. I love bacon. I love pork. I love pork chops. I love pork ribs. I love pork loin, pork roasts. Pork is just great. Roast pork lo mein. We had that the other day. Roast pork fried rice. I mean, I could eat pork until I'm blue in the face. It's great. You could just call me Porky Pig. I love pork. Everybody in the chat, tell me how much you love pork and how much you love bacon. Like real red-blooded Americans, right? How good is pork? How good is bacon? How good is sausage? Sausage and pepper. I love pork. We love pork. We love pork. I'll tell you. It's the only reason why I'll never want to own a pig. Because I want to eat them all the time. I actually love pigs. Except the pigs on The View. But I love pork. Pork is so great. It is amazing. All right. Thank you, folks, for I'm sure I'll hear from Speak a little later about what that was all about. Look, between Speak and Brennan, I don't think anybody can read my mind as well as Speak and Brennan. Brennan probably a little better than Speak because, you know, we're married. I'm not marrying you, Speak, so that's the end of that, okay? But especially over the last several days with the Real ID. By the way, World Economic Forum hasn't been here yet to cart me away into the gulag, even though my license has a star on it. So I'm doing pretty good. I must be lucky. Let's get to a word. No, we don't have to get to a word. It's Tuesday. It's not Wednesday. Duh, stupid. Let's do AOC instead. Who wants to do Name That Accent? Did you see that this morning, Brennan, on PhD, the accent that she put out? The new AOC accent?
No, I didn't hear that part.
Oh, my. So, you have Kamala Harris. Have you no empathy, man, right? Oh, I certainly whooped it and have space. Lionel from the African Education Conference, right? Yes, the pavilion. We had big fun there. Ha! Trading places. AOC debuted a new accent. This is one for the ages. This is one for the ages. Take a look at this.
Donald Trump is a criminal who was found guilty of 34 felony counts of fraud, liable for sexual abuse. Of course he's lying and abusing and manipulating the stock market too. When he talks about rapists and criminals, he should look in the mirror.
Fight oligarchy, it says. I have been fighting the oligarchy for years because they've taken away your health care. No. What accent was that? What accent was that? I heard a little like she was trying to do. Remember when she did, listen, okay, all right, listen. I heard a little of the Latinx, shall we call it, right? Latinx. Winky says she's possessed by Kamala. Yeah. 32, remember that? 32 days. And then
Just kind of like faded out.
And then the teleprompter stopped and she was like, 32 days. We got a job to do and we will do it. 32 days. What? Someone said that was a Valley Girl accent. Sauce says she's speaking stupidese. Oh, there we go. Look. I'm a gay Jew. Look at that.
Who says that?
Big Roofy the OG. Love it. That's good. I think I know what's going on. It looks like the Pork Brigade is going to start doing, there's a little Ilhan Omar. I never heard that accent before. Of course he cracked the market too. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. All right. Here's Donald Trump. I'm going to show you this. This is some. This is a great idea for 2026. Some people, I think, took issue with this, and I understand why. But I will say this. I have no problem with these comments. Take a listen to this from Donald Trump yesterday in the Oval Office.
But they're not running things anymore in this country, and we're run by, and I don't say conservative, I don't say anything, we're run by people with great common sense.
Yeah, common sense.
Because it's all common sense. Yeah. It's not liberal conservative, it's common sense.
Exactly.
So you hear how he said it's, the people running the country, it's not conservative, and I saw some folks saying, "Oh, Donald Trump is not a conservative." And oh my God, do you understand? This is marketing, okay? Whether it's right or wrong, let's remove that from the equation right now. Whether it's right or wrong, let's remove that from the equation in terms of, whether you agree with this statement. The term conservative, thanks to the mainstream media, and I know they don't have as much power as they used to have, but they still do have influence, and This has been something that has had, it's been years in the making. The term conservative has, right or wrong, irrelevant, a negative connotation. That doesn't mean I'm ashamed to call myself conservative. I want to be clear. I'm just telling you, from the eyes of a normie, from the eyes of a leftist, the term conservative is not looked upon positively. Okay? Oh, you're a conservative? You know what I'm saying? You don't have to agree with that classification, but that is how that term is and how that label is applied. It's applied as a pejorative. It's applied as an insult. It's negative, even though it's not actually a bad thing. But common sense isn't a bad thing. And because Donald Trump understands the left and how they operate, the live by TDS, die by TDS, right? Because Donald Trump understands that, it's very simple. By taking the side of common sense, what is the left going to do? Well, they're going to stand against common sense at some point if he keeps doing that. They're going to be like, well, what sense does it make to keep men out of women's sports? He's walking them right into that. I'm not a 5D chess, everything, but I believe that's the brand going into 2026. They're crazy. He's not saying we're not conservative. He's saying this is not even political. It's just common sense, the direction that we want to take the country. All right, tomorrow, Wednesday, we've got market expert Craig Wenklowitz on with us, the host of World HD here on LFA TV from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Craig Wenklowitz is on with us tomorrow to discuss markets. Fantastic, fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Be here for it. Thursday, pre-recorded again. TDS special. We'll be talking about and having fun with. That's a good one. I recorded it the other day. How bad TDS is and the extent to which it has permeated the left and the Democrat Party. Friday, we are back live, and we will have your calls. We will have your calls on Friday. 10 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on rumble.com/LFA-TV and everywhere else you could find it live from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern. Until then, I want you guys to have a great couple of days. I'm going to miss you over the next couple of days. You'll see why tomorrow night. It's going to be a good time. And you will get there's a little bit about what's happening tomorrow night in tomorrow's show. But it'll be a good time tomorrow night. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Jeremy Harrell coming up next with Live from America for the next 2 hours. Hit that thumbs up button, folks, for the show. We would greatly appreciate it as we get ready to sign off live until Friday. Well, we do have shows coming, so don't miss it. Make sure you're here, supporting the channel, sharing with all your friends. We'd greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate all that support. Jeremy Harrell coming up next. As President Trump would say, we will never give up, we will never give in, and we will never, ever, 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 ever surrender. And if all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your Tuesday and a great Wednesday. And a great Thursday. We will have shows the next couple days, but we're live again on Friday. Call second half of the show. In the words of John Fetterman. Good night, everybody. Bang gavel. Jeremy Harrell up next. We'll catch you back live on Friday morning.